Watch Hope More with host Hope Demps on the Daily Gospel Network, the television show created to inspire, encourage, and motivate. Each week, we will provide a dose of entertainment, social commentary, and spiritual insight. This is your opportunity to gain a better understanding of current and important topics from a refreshing perspective, plus creative art, new foods, travel, event reviews, do it yourself projects, awesome guests, and so much more. Catch Hope More with host Hope Demps every week on the Daily Gospel Network. Watch Hope More with host Hope Demps on the Daily Gospel Network, the television show created to inspire, encourage, and motivate. Each week, we will provide a dose of entertainment, social commentary, and spiritual insight. This is your opportunity to gain a better understanding of current and important topics from a refreshing perspective, plus creative art, new foods, travel, event reviews, do-it-yourself projects, awesome guests, and so much more. Catch Hope More with host Hope Demps every week on the Daily Gospel Network. Watch Hope More with host Hope Demps on the Daily Gospel Network, the television show created to inspire, encourage, and motivate. Each week, we will provide a dose of entertainment, social commentary, and spiritual insight. This is your opportunity to gain a better understanding of current and important topics from a refreshing perspective, plus creative art, new foods, travel, event reviews, do-it-yourself projects, awesome guests, and so much more. Catch Hope More with host Hope Demps every week on the Daily Gospel Network. Watch Hope More with host Hope Demps on the Daily Gospel Network, the television show created to inspire, encourage, and motivate. Each week, we will provide a dose of entertainment, social commentary, and spiritual insight. This is your opportunity to gain a better understanding of current and important topics from a refreshing perspective, plus creative art, new foods, travel, event reviews, do-it-yourself projects, awesome guests, and so much more. Catch Hope More with host Hope Demps every week on the Daily Gospel Network. Watch Hope More with host Hope Demps on the Daily Gospel Network, the television show created to inspire, encourage, and motivate. Each week, we will provide a dose of entertainment, social commentary, and spiritual insight. This is your opportunity to gain a better understanding of current and important topics from a refreshing perspective, plus creative art, new foods, travel, event reviews, do-it-yourself projects, awesome guests, and so much more. Catch Hope More with host Hope Demps every week on the Daily Gospel Network. Watch Hope More with host Hope Demps on the Daily Gospel Network, the television show created to inspire, encourage, and motivate. Each week, we will provide a dose of entertainment, social commentary, and spiritual insight. This is your opportunity to gain a better understanding of current and important topics from a refreshing perspective, plus creative art, new foods, travel, event reviews, do-it-yourself projects, awesome guests, and so much more. Catch Hope More with host Hope Demps every week on the Daily Gospel Network.
Hi, my hopeMORE family. I'm so excited to be here. And I got feedback and I got to get off. So, ooh. Can you hear me? Ooh, let's try something different. Can you hear me? Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so I'm gonna start again because you may have only been reading my lips. Good afternoon, evening, my Hope More family on both Facebook and YouTube. This is Hope Dents, host of the Hope More Show, where we believe in justice, family, and the light. Tonight was our season premiere for season 9 scheduled, and so exciting about it because we had our first guest being Miss Juneteenth, Florida, 2023, Taylor County's own Morgan Wetzel, who is now Miss Florida Juneteenth or Miss Juneteenth Florida, and will be going to the Nationals in October. And so she was going to be here. We're going to celebrate her with a Labor Day weekend kickoff of an all-white party because you know they say you shouldn't wear white after Labor Day, and then we're going to have a reception. So that actually end up having to be scrapped for a number of reasons, but I still wanted to come on here and not only to make good for my Hope More audience and also for me to stay on schedule because season 9 is going to be an amazing season as we get ready for next year celebrating season 10. But also, I was like, we may not be able to do the first time live studio audience, but we can do live on location, undisclosed though it may be, but you have a hint of where I am because of the receptacle behind me, City of Perry. So I'm going to do what I'm going to ask you to do. Please share, share. I know I've already missed some people because I said I was going to start at 7, fingers crossed, and it's like 7:25. But if you're watching on replay, please comment down below. Tell me where you're watching from. Tell me if you're from Perry or you know someone from the Big Bend area, and that you've been concerned, as I have, about the aftermath of Hurricane Idalia, Idalia. I think it's called Idalia, like Vidalia onions without the V. And as a person who was inland about 33, 34 miles from the coast of our county, Taylor County, which actually borders the Gulf of Mexico, this, I understand, historically has been the worst storm to hit inland for over 100 years. So I end up hatching down with my family, my 2 older parents, and I really didn't have any idea that it was expected or suggested that we'd be a part of the evacuees until I started talking to all my uncles, and they seemed to all be out of town. And I was like, wait a minute. But it was past curfew, and God was faithful. But I thought, why not take away the pre-planned program of it all, which is still worthy and we'll still reschedule and have it. But let's talk about where we are presently, where I am presently, and where the Big Bend area is dealing with, particularly my hometown, Perry, Florida. So without further ado, I'm going to ask you guys to share, and like. It's Hope More, lowercase HOPE, uppercase MORE, one word, because all you need is a little bit of hope to think and desire more, expect more. And it is Hope More Facebook page, and on YouTube is Hope More YouTube channel. Hope More YouTube channel. And for some reason, my delineation is HOPEMORE 5735 if you're just searching. But you should also be able to find it. It'll show the red circle and the stylized lowercase HOPEMORE uppercase. Would you subscribe, like, hit the share button, and let's get to talking, because this show, this season 9 premiere, I end up dedicating to the state I was born in, the state I now have returned to, the state that I love, despite the fact that sometimes we are treated like a redheaded stepchild. And in honor of the redheaded stepchild, this season I plan on donning red hair where possible, although some of my best friends think this is pink. What do you think? Tell me down below. Is this pink? I thought it was red. That's what the box cartons say. But anyway, I digress. We are not the redhead stepchildren. We are much beloved. We are the Sunshine State, but we have been going through it for a lot of reasons. The season and the occasion of this hurricane is only one. So I'm going to ask you to share, and I'm going to do what I'm asking you to do is share. And please let me know if you can hear me, if you come on, if you can hear me. I know I've lost some people because I started before, and I don't believe people are able to hear me. Oh, okay. I heard me right there. So I'm going to share right now. Share on group pages about the hurricane. Share with anyone that you think will may be interested, because I'm going to not just be talking about my reflections on the past 48 hours. For some, much more longer than that, in the last week. But also, I want to give you some information if you're in need of information about relief services, especially in Perry, Florida, as well as ways to help. And I'm going to have to vocalize a lot of these things while I also figure out a way to type it on the banner for it to scroll, because I am going sans laptop. I only have my iPad, which is connected to my cell phone, and then I have another cell phone at my disposal. So I'm going to go ahead and share before I get more into the information. All right. All right. I'm sharing that. And is you are seeing this both on hopeMORE YouTube channel, hopeMORE Facebook page, as well as my the two churches that are part of my family, Christian Tabernacle and Bethel Mount Sinai. I've shared with your pages too, primarily because this storm has affected all the Big Bend, including Mayo, Florida, and Perry, Florida, and the people on Warner Avenue, where the Christian Tabernacle Church sits, close to the Jerkins areas, across from the federal housing projects and other places like a lot of my family live. Then I'm hoping that those who be interested in tuning in to a Sunday would also be interested in what's happening in our community. Because I'm getting calls, guys. What can I do? I don't know how I became, for some people, town center, but I'm okay with it. I want hopeMORE to play an active role in the Big Bend area. I want to become the queen of talk in the Big Bend area. I don't know if there's anyone with that title, but I'm coming for you. Anyway, I don't know if the deep that I'm spraying is getting to my head, but I just want to tell you that I'm really excited to be here to talk to you. And I'm trying to think any place else I should share. Just if you guys were interested in what was happening around life here, I was like going to show you a funny situation, because a lot of people are outside for a number of reasons. It is hot, for a major one. In the last 2 days, it's been, well, today was cooler because of rain, but it's been on average 100 plus degrees. Yes. So we have people who are outside because they're hot. And then we have people who are just making me laugh because they're always like into like looking what's happening. So I may add this. Let's see if I can turn it around. If I can't, I may not even show it. Can I turn this around? So you see me from different angles because I'm trying to try something new. But I was trying to see if I can turn the camera. Can I turn the camera? Let's see. I can't turn the camera around. Okay, well, maybe I'll just do a handheld turn like this. But can you see what's happening down there? My dad and his brother. I said I was going to put them on camera, so I may go ahead and do that now. But yeah, there's a lot of things happening. And if you're like some of my family members who evacuated, or as my dad said, fled from the hurricane instead of standing still and believe in Psalm 91, then you may have taken the opportunity to look at other people's Facebook to see what was happening in Perry, Florida, which makes a lot of sense because this has been a really, really trying time. So I'm going to go down there. I may even give them my should I give them, what am I doing? Should I give them my, yeah, I think I am. But they're on the phone and my dad doesn't know how to hold things. So oh, he's on the phone talking. So I'm gonna get him soon. I am gonna get him soon. I'm gonna get him all the way together and we're gonna work it out. So listen, we have had a doozy of a time here in Perry, Florida, which for most of Perry, we're at least 33 miles in. Many of us 40 plus miles in. We got hit with winds that were awful, and people are actually having to deal with the fact that our homes have been destroyed. You've seen the footage on Good Morning America. You've seen the footage. But one of the things that has come to bear as to really being truth is the idea that people in our community have come together. And not only have people in our community have come together, we are seeing people from Jackson County Sheriff's Office, from national organizations that get involved if there's ever a hurricane to happen. And it's just like really interesting to see how people have come together. And so, in that spirit, actually, I had about 3 or 4 people outside ready to be on the show. And then I pushed play and they all of a sudden disappeared. But I'm about to go down there and see them and talk to them while I try to make sure I get the information that I need everyone to have online. So let's go down here. They thought they were escaping my camera, but they're not. Oh, did Uncle Harry leave? Uncle Harry left? I thought he was going to be on the show. I thought Uncle Harry left. Uncle Harry, I'm going to come down to you, Dad. Okay, this is my handsome father, Pastor Chester Dimps, and he has been hunkering down at my house. I'm trying to see what was the best way of doing this. He's been hunkering down at my house. Actually, before the storm, he had a tree fall down in his yard on last Saturday. That really it predates the storm, and I'm Daddy. Let me see if I can see you. Yeah, yeah. Let me see if I can see you. Dad, we had a whole contingency out here and they left. Why did they leave? They were going to be on the show. So I am going to ask you to push up. Not stand up, push the chair up. You don't have to stand. Oh, okay. You know what? Every time I have you on camera, it's sort of like I get more views. So here's my father. He is doing well. I may put my mom on camera, but I'm going to get out the way actually and ask Pastor Demps to share about his Hurricane Idalia experience. Could you just share what your experience was on Tuesday when you heard about the the oncoming hurricane and what was your response?
Well, they was saying it was coming on to be a Category 3 and told us to evacuate and said anybody in period that could evacuate, they need to evacuate. And my brothers, they left town, several of them, but I wasn't worried about the evacuation. And I said, I'll weather the storm.
Okay,
But Saturday before,
I'll put it down here. Go ahead. Go ahead, Dad.
Saturday before the storm, I had some trees to fall, and some pretty big trees. They were probably, matter of fact, the guy estimated one was about a 30,000 pound log that fell. It just kind of brushed the corner of the house, and so they had to bring the tree surgeons in to move it. But I sat there and watched the storm as it come in the land, and I was peeping out the window, and I just covered it with Psalm 91.
What does that mean? You covered it with Psalm 91.
That it fall 1,000 will fall out the right hand and 10 at that left, but it will not come near thy dwelling.
So you mentioned that your brothers left town. Um, why didn't you leave town?
Well, my brother Herman and my brother Harry and my brother Thomas, they left town. And so I stayed because I felt like that the Lord would just take care of me through this time.
Did you think that the Lord would take care of you, or you thought your daughter Hope would take care of you?
Well, I felt with me being her present and mama that the Lord would take care of her and take care of all of us during this time.
How did your daughter take the fact later on to find out that her uncles had evacuated and to understand that it was actually requested that everybody evacuate, even the people inland? How
Well,
did she respond to that?
Hope got upset, and maybe it was a lot of responsibility on her, and maybe I didn't understand how much pressure it was on her about evacuating. But Mom and I decided to stay.
Oh, you putting it on Mama? Mama decided to stay?
Because Mama had some disabilities, and I thought that we could do better in our own house, in our own room, and being able to stay and not run. I just felt that the Lord was going to take care of me. I'd already prayed, and Sunday before last, we had some things in church that kind of spoke to us about this, and so we were prepared to stay.
Oh, now that's a good wait.
And so I just didn't fear it
Okay.
because He said that you don't have to fear no evil.
But
And
now that you talk to your daughter and you understand,
but I
um,
understand the pressure I put her under. But I just assumed that she heard the evacuation message too. But I didn't get excited about it.
well,
And she wanted to leave, and I decided to stay and weather the storm.
who
But
wanted to leave?
yeah, my daughter, she would have left
I
if she.
would have left if I would have known that everybody else was leaving. I thought we were all being surprised by the same intensity. So while the storm was blowing hard and I was walking out in the rain to get our supplies, you already knew that it was supposed to be bad.
Yeah, but I apologized to her by not sharing with her what the weather reporter said. But I was not planning on leaving, but I wouldn't have kept it from her. It was not. I didn't take it seriously enough to talk about it in detail. I just mentioned that my brother Thomas Parrish, his daughter asked him to leave, but being a county commissioner, he came back and we could serve the people. And
Um, you said something interesting, but I just wanted what's passing? What's making all this noise?
these service trucks and power, we right down from a large power grid, and they trying to restore power in Perry. Perry is completely out of power already. And
Uh,
they even say they claim the president will be through here tomorrow looking at it.
he's supposed to be coming to the hardest hit areas. Do you know if he's coming
Yeah,
to Perry
but
Perry?
they say Perry and Mayo. That's what I was told a little while ago, that he'll be checking this area. I figured him and his wife, they probably gonna check it from there.
Well, since it's getting dark and I don't know how long I'm gonna have you, um, would you say that it you don't that it would not it just because people did evacuate doesn't mean that they didn't have faith that Psalm 91 was true and that God would protect them, right? You're
Well,
not suggesting that that was your conviction, but it's okay for people to trust God and still evacuate, right?
yeah, I ain't opposed to evacuating, but there's so many people can't afford to evacuate, have nowhere to go, or nothing to go in. And I was telling my people to be encouraged and to weather the storm. But I was not telling them not to evacuate, but I told them that we would just pray and ask God to see us through this time. And so I felt that should stay in with them. And people that mail were calling, and we had recommend our senator to go there if they was on a trailer or didn't feel as good. It was a better structure built for a higher wind velocity, and I thought it would be better. And the only thing I asked them is not to take any flammable stuff, but take flashlight, battery operated lights where they could see. And most of them did go there and stayed until the storm warning was over.
Well, let me ask you this question. So when you found yourself in the storm and you felt very confident that no matter what would happen, it would not come near your dwelling, you were staying at my house, and in fact, I think you woken up with the wind and the rain.
And I was
What was
peeping
the
out the window.
experience for you? Yeah.
I was peeping out the window, and we got a pecan tree here was just reeling and rocking, and my truck was parked on it. And I kept saying that it would not come in my dwelling, and I kept on repeating the scripture to the tree.
Yeah, you sure did.
And I just knew that I couldn't go out there and move it, and I knew that the tree was really, it was a hunt that it blowed some oak trees up that have 10 feet tall roots,
Roots.
and so I mean some real 100-year tree. It blowed them up, and it blowed. It looked like a storm. It looked like a bomb was hitting this area. Being a Vietnam veteran, I know how it is when they storm different places. and it looked like it had been. They say that have never had one as catastrophic here in over 100 years in Perry. Now, one of the older gentlemen say in 1935 they had a storm here that you could walk from his house to town, which is about 2 miles, without stepping on the ground, on trees and stuff. But they have developed it a little better now, but it was a lot of devastation, and it pulled trees up by the roots. And I mean, 100-year-old palm, I mean, 100-year-old oak tree, it pulled them up by the roots. And I had one probably 40, 50 year old pine that was as large, as, big in diameter, but it pulled it up, and it was a lot of limbs that was as big as a 5 gallon bucket was tore a center all over the backside of the place.
Okay.
And, but to see the people that come together, there has always seemed like a kind of divided place, seemingly, but they really come together and show love, and everybody is suffering from the same thing. So the people are coming together to make the best out of they can. And many people couldn't leave, and many people wouldn't leave, but then they say if it ever come again, they will leave.
And what about you?
Yeah, I doubt if I'll go anywhere.
But you are going to do some things differently. Like for the last couple of days, we've been without, well, you haven't had electricity at your house since the tree fell before the storm on Saturday. And you came here to my house. And in the last two, we haven't had power since the storm hit. So what do you think you'll do differently, at least then?
That make Hope lead me to my house and let me get back in my safe haven and light some candles and thank God for Jesus.
Well,
But
now, what's a word of encouragement to those
but I
who?
want the people to be encouraged. And as we sit here on this corner at Hope, and the people come by to try to, well, FEMA is coming to try to help clean up. They're cleaning roads, and they're trying to restore the power company, and people are coming trying to get people to let them cut their limbs. But I'm questioning how, most people don't have $600 to $1,000 to get a limb cut off or nothing now, because Perry's not that type of place. We just live from paycheck to paycheck most times, and we don't have that much extra money. And so the people that are getting before FEMA coming to try to get them the limb cut off. And I've had them this morning to come by my house, and they have went from $400 to $2,400 to cut the trees in my house. But I'm gonna wait until FEMA come and work with me. And I think that's what the people need to do. But you can't be afraid and wait. You gotta wait. If it was on your house, I said, yeah, you need it off and try to put a talk on to keep it away. But if it's in your yard, I think we can wait until FEMA comes and help us. And I thank God for this day. I just thank God that, that trees have fell at our right and our left. Trees have fell at the right and left of the church, but nothing has fell on the church. And from what I know from my people, they fell in the yard, they fell by the car, they fell, but nobody. I had one lady said she couldn't get home, but a group come and help cut her where she can get home. But no, nothing has fell on anything to destroy her that I know of in our church group. And we just stay on Psalm 91 weekly and remind them that that if you wake in His presence, covered in the shadow of the Almighty, that He'll protect us from all these disasters.
Well, thank you, Pastor Dennis.
God bless you and bye bye.
And you call your brother back. My uncle Harry said that he wanted to be. I'm on both sides. That he wanted to be on this program, and he left right before we started. So,
Because
okay.
the lady told him that they might have had power in his area. He was going to make
Oh,
sure.
okay. Well, one of the things that Pastor James alluded to is that we quote Psalm 91 quite often, at least several times a week, since 2017. And there's a part of the scripture that says, "1,000 may fall by their side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. And that really meant a lot to us, because just the idea that something being close doesn't mean contact. Just because it's messy and even causes you inconvenience doesn't mean that you've been defeated in it. And what happened, interesting enough, on the day of the storm, is that this tree, which is actually a pecan tree, I say that it's arm wrestling my orange trees. It came crashing down right at the spot my car had been parked. Because actually, I had parked under the tree to give my parents more room, and it ended up being, my dad told me to move it, and then that morning I moved it some more, and then I literally was walking inside the house when it came tumbling down, in the rain, and I was like, "This is, this is a lot." I'm not even gonna think about the fact that it's a lot. Okay, so for my Hope More people, I may have to, I'm going to talk about some of the opportunities for relief services, and I may have to go back and place in the comment below the information, because without a laptop, it's really hard for me to share screens. With a lot of information that's been going on around Florida, but I'm going to try my best to make the next part of our time together as informative as possible. I was going to wait to reflections later, but when I saw my uncle escape, I thought my dad may be soon behind him, so I was wanted to make sure I get the information. But I wanted to, since we started a little backwards with the reflection, let me talk a little bit about how you can help as well. Because there is an ask that I've been made aware of, that by Pat Schraub, as well as from Service Department with the city of Perry, and I think it's such a worthwhile way of immediately offering help. And yes, it's hot, so I am going to be sweating, and you can tell, like, I have no makeup, no styling, but I think, gosh, the last time I was on live was the same thing. So maybe this is just the concept for right now. But the emergency management services of Perry, Florida, they're actually located by the jail. They are needing volunteers to man their hotline 24/7. People are calling in asking questions about where they can get help. People who want to help or like provide services are asking maybe where they can stage. I know we're offering up Christian Tabernacle as a potential staging place for another worthwhile group. They need to call this number, and I am going to I'm going to provide that information. Like I said, if it's not on the screen, it'll be in the comments after this show. But they are looking for people. They're asking if you can to dedicate 8 hours, but they understand that a lot of people, including people like Pat Schraub, who's the administrative assistant for the emergency management director, she's having to go back to her home that has no electricity to, as she's been working all day to help other people, she still has to go clean up. So understanding that, they'll take as much time as you're willing to give. And as of 5 o'clock today, they were filled until Sunday at 8 a.m. And it is 24 hours. So if you can come at 12, that's great. 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, that's great. And so the number for that is, and it just occurred to me that the number is actually on the phone I'm using. Let me just look it up, because I think it is the same number. It's 850-838-3557, I believe. All right, no dogs come over here. I'll play with y'all. And let me make sure. And it's emergency management um, services that, and they're located outside the Taylor County Jail. So this is where how you would know it. Management services. Mm-mm-mm. Ah, I was almost right. 850-838-3575. Let me go ahead and get that on the screen. because that is a very important number. And I want to make sure that we give you stuff to be able to help. So we're starting a little backwards. I'm not talking about the services available, but even as I'm telling you how you can help, that's also giving you some insight of what the services are available, because people call this number asking for help. And one thing I was thinking about, even in volunteering my services and answering calls, I'll also get a sense of seeing what is out there for some of the people who I think touch me and my family and my church. So, yeah, that's correct. So, also, this serves a dual purpose. This telephone number is also a number that you can call emergency management here in Perry, Florida. This is for Perry, Florida. 850-838-3575. 850-838-3575. And if I have an opportunity, because who knows, my electricity may come on within the hour, I can have my Xfinity Wi-Fi connected, because the hotspot thing is not working, and I'm not even able to pull up on my a personal hotspot from my phone. I don't know why that is, but we're gonna get it together. So when I edit this video, I get to put in some videos and pictures as well as some of this information. Now, another thing that I think is very helpful is that a lot of the churches are not only just being staging areas, but for instance, where you one of the biggest staging areas today, where they're giving out ice, water, and hot food. I think it was pulled pork and beans. It was hosted in front of the First Assembly of God in Perry, Florida. But there were several organizations that were participating. But I believe the overarching group was Project Hope, and they had Manna Fresh that focuses on small town relief. Then the Jackson County Sheriff's Office was out there, and I was amazed because they were giving out food and doing Bible quizzes. And there was another group that was giving out water. But the First Assembly of God was not only a space for people to set up; they had people who were managing the process. So I think later on this evening, I probably will be able to get Dr. Willie Anderson, who was over the big drive yesterday in Lockridge Park, that provided many of the same things, and even in addition to, and they today also did lunches that had over 20 sponsors from Temple of God. So I do want to get him on. I may not get him on without starting another live, but that's fine, because this is a season premiere, and I would have been um, at my temporary space for the studio, and just enjoying the night away. So we're going to be on giving information, and I know different people at different times will come on and hear and engage. So there was also a very exciting thing that I say exciting because if it was me, I would want to know about it. One thing that is very clear, and now when I see people, especially post hurricane or any type of relief done in the summer, any disaster in the summer in hot places, the first thing I'm going to think about is like, wow, I wonder if they've been able to take a shower or wash clothes. Because even though the electricity is not working, most people in Perry still have the use of their water. You may not have hot water if you have an electrical hot water heater like me once it all runs out. But the idea of washing yourself, washing clothes, say, your water is off and you have dirty dishes, and all these things that you have prepared to clean, but now they've been sitting in the sweltering heat over 100 degrees. That's some um, some nasty if you've ever experienced it. So there's some information about Walmart in our community of Perry, Florida. Um, and they're giving opportunity to wash up your body and your clothes. And I'm hoping, um, and with a little bit more planning, maybe a part of the follow up can be going around filming some of this. But I didn't want to be in the way. Like today, I was filming a little bit, and I felt like I was in the way of the distribution. But Walmart, and let me get the post. And some of you who are on Facebook, feel free to post below in the comments as to any other information you're finding out that's helpful. Um, let's see. Uh, you can go to Walmart. Who sent this to me? You know what? Some of my best texts came from the phone that I'm shooting from. So I may switch spaces so that I can get that information. But I may do that even now. Let's see. Let's see. Remember, I'm filming, guys. So be careful of your comments. I don't know if y'all heard that. I don't think you did, but just okay. So I'm gonna switch out real quick. Talk amongst yourselves. I'm gonna try to get my mom on here. I may have to switch. Right. Uh-oh. Mm, excuse me. If you um, need that service, then you would do well to go to Walmart. I gotta switch off. Okay, I've switched cameras, so we have to switch off. Okay, mommy, I think she's escaping too. Let me see if I can get this man on the line, Dr. Anderson, because he and I have actually connected with some, and as well as with some other ministries while I've been dealing with the last 24 hours. And I think Pastor Carolyn Dims of Bethel Mount Sinai out of Mayo, Florida is done. She's going in. And I don't know if I can get him. Let me just text him. Okay. So some other things that I think are very, very important to share. And I am going to switch back because I think the other angle was a better one. Good night, Mom. Now, one thing about it, because it's 8:02 and it's hot and we don't have lights, you find yourself going to bed earlier than you probably would have if you were able to stay up, which may do some of y'all good. I hope y'all getting the rest you probably deserve. So let me switch back off. Okay. Let's keep it kosher. All right. So we have some more information, and this I'm definitely going to just have to post because people, if you hear something that you're interested in finding out more about, I don't know if that means I'm losing power or it just was tired of being on. But we have, did it unplug? What's happening? Okay, that's fine. Okay, our light went out, but it's fickle. So I wanted to just share some other important things, and like I said, I'll put it down in the comments because I think I'm just not able to type out one-handed on an iPad the way I would a laptop since I can't use my laptop. But this is actually information that came from directly from one of the insurers that actually have quite a few customers in Perry. So I wanted to give this information. I think is very helpful. Let me just pull it up. And so I'm gonna definitely paste and cut some of this, and then we'll be done. Um, you know what? All right. So as you all probably already experienced, a lot of people have come through suggesting that they can cut things down for you. And I don't blame them. Get your hustle on. But if you have insurance, make sure you check with your insurance. But probably more than that, please know that we have the fact is there are ministries here like at Calvary Baptist. They're literally helping people for free remove debris and within reason cutting certain things and items down to help their community. Let me switch mics.
Watch Hope More with host Hope Demps on the Daily Gospel Network, the television show created to inspire, encourage, and motivate. Each week, we will provide a dose of entertainment, social commentary, and spiritual insight. This is your opportunity to gain a better understanding of current and important topics from a refreshing perspective, plus creative art, new foods, travel, event reviews, do-it-yourself projects, awesome guests, and so much more. Catch Hope More with host Hope Demps every week on the Daily Gospel Network. Watch Hope More with host Hope Demps on the Daily Gospel Network, the television show created to inspire, encourage, and motivate. Each week, we will provide a dose of entertainment, social commentary, and spiritual insight. This is your opportunity to gain a better understanding of current and important topics from a refreshing perspective, plus creative art, new foods, travel, event reviews, do-it-yourself projects, awesome guests, and so much more. Catch Hope More with host Hope Demps every week on the Daily Gospel Network. Watch Hope More with host Hope Demps on the Daily Gospel Network, the